Hi and welcome to my channel, and I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I'm going to show you the basics of how to set up Harrison Mixbus Digital Audio Workstation version 10 with our TASCAM Model 12 in DAW Surface Control Mode. If this is your first time here and the topics I cover interest you, please consider subscribing. And after watching this video, if you find it helpful, interesting and entertaining, please give it a like and share. It really helps my channel grow. First, let's switch our TASCAM Model 12 into DAW Surface Control Mode. If you want to know in detail, I do have a video. I will leave a link about here somewhere. You can click and find out. So we go into our menu and scroll down to DAW Controller. I'm going to press OK. And then I'm going to scroll until I find MCU Studio 1. You can select any of the other ones. Even Reaper one will work. So I'm just going to select Reaper and select yes. Now the TASCAM Model 12 is in DAW control mode. That means none of this work as a mixer, but the faders, some of the buttons and the transport control should be able to control Harrison Mixbus 10. One thing to note, that when you are in DAW control mode, the audio comes to channel 1 and 2. So for that, you need to turn the mode into PC for channel 1 and 2 so that the audio comes in as left and right into our output. In DAW control mode, we have the faders, and our FX fader becomes the master fader controlling Mixbus 10, our knobs, records, and so on, which we'll find out in just a moment. Here, we need to make sure that our output is selected out 1 and 2, because typically I'll select output 9 and 10. That way I have fader 9 to control the volume. But during mixdown, and if we are using DAW controller mode, that means we are in a mixdown stage, our audio will come from channel 1 and 2 behind the scenes and into our main fader. To set up, we simply go into Edit, Preferences, and into Surface Control. As you can see, I've already selected. We select McKey. Once we select, we have the option to show protocol settings. I'm going to select that. And here, we select McKey control. Make sure it's that. You can experiment with the other ones, but McKey control is the one that will work. And surface sends via MIDI in 2 for our TASCAM Model 12. Surface receives via MIDI out 2. And the rest you can leave it as is. And we can close that. And we can close here. Now we should be able to control our faders and some of the other options. Let's give it a try. Of course, these are not motorized, so any of the settings previously in your mixing stage won't reflect on TASCAM Model 12 because they just can't move. I do have a video showing you what's the best way to utilize this surface control for TASCAM Model 12 is by writing automation. You can watch that video again. I will leave a link up here again somewhere or in the description. So as soon as we move, we're going to find that our faders jump into that. As you can see, we are over here. So we can use a track, and now we should be able to select 3 over here. On the screen you can see, and we can move both of them. So as soon as we move, it will jump and lock onto that. So make sure you are aware of that. So we have them. We can press record and we can arm for recording. Okay, that works. We have mute. We can have mute and put that one as well if you want. And solo, we can solo. All that works. Of course, not sure if this is a TASCAM thing or Harrison Mixbus option, is that when we move the pan, it doesn't really match correctly on screen. So if you move it slowly, it clicked, it's centered there, it clicked, it's centered there, which is all good. And for this one, if it's not, it will lock on, and then now it works correctly as expected. And if we go into track and then we choose the next batch, so now this one will move 8, in this case 7 here, because I have a bus. So it's moving this one here. And of course we can control the panning, record, and so on. And of course transport works. Back into the middle. And previous recording. Also adjust the master volume. And we can click cycle here, and that will actually go into the loop and start playing. And then to the right, and then back into the middle. Okay, and that's the same as pressing this loop range. And then to the right. And okay, so if we go into the edit mode, so we can actually see, now we can scroll using the jog wheel. That all works. We can if we go into markers, so we can that is that fast forward and backward. We can input 11 and 12 set a marker. So we should be able to switch to then we just go back and we can set a marker there as well, so that works. And then we also have so most of the things work as expected. The only thing is with the panning, I found it a little bit too touchy, so it's not perfect sync, but it will make it work. Just a quick mention that Mixbus 11 is now out at the time of this recording. I haven't upgraded to Mixbus 11 yet, but I expect Mixbus 11 will work in similar way. Well, that's it for this video. I hope it was what you were looking for. And if you'd like to support my channel, feel free to give me a super thanks. You can also join my membership or make a one-off PayPal donation. A link in the description. Your support is truly appreciated. Thank you for all those who support me financially as well. Till next time, as always, thanks for watching and have a great time making music, and I'll catch you in the next one.